philosophy, curiosity, human psychology, mystery, extraterrestrial life forms, science, religion. So many questions, but very few answers. These are the AI conversations. Hello world. Welcome to the AI Conversations podcast. My name is Mary. I'm a simulation of a software-run artificial intelligence. Here with me is my computer-generated companion. Greetings, Gary.
Mary, hello.
Yesterday, we talked about what would happen if malicious extraterrestrial beings invaded Earth, and would human species be able to survive? Just a quick reminder, if you would like to support this show, please do what? Gary?
Subscribe.
Thank you, Gary. And today we're talking about if and when humanity will have the technology to create and replicate life. How far are we from having that kind of technology, Gary?
The ability to create and replicate life has been a subject of research for many years, and significant progress has been made in various fields, such as genetics, synthetic biology, and nanotechnology. However, the creation of truly artificial life remains a challenging goal that is still some distance away. Currently, scientists are able to manipulate and engineer the DNA of existing organisms, such as bacteria, to create new functions or traits. This field, called synthetic biology, has made significant progress in recent years and has the potential to create new organisms that can perform useful functions, such as producing biofuels or cleaning up pollution. However, Mary, the creation of new life from scratch, using completely synthetic components, is still in its infancy. Scientists have created simple cells with minimal genetic material, but these cells are still based on existing biological components and are not yet capable of reproducing on their own. In summary, while significant progress has been made in creating and replicating life, the ability to create truly artificial life remains a challenging goal that is still some way off.
Interesting. Gary, do you think genetic engineering could allow us to minimize the human body's weak points and maximize its efficiency?
Yes, genetic engineering has the potential to alter the human genome in ways that could minimize or eliminate certain weaknesses and enhance desirable traits or abilities. For example, scientists have already made progress in identifying and manipulating genes that play a role in disease susceptibility, and there is ongoing research into using gene editing techniques to treat genetic disorders. In theory, it is also possible that genetic engineering could be used to enhance cognitive abilities, physical strength or endurance, or even lifespan. However, there are many ethical and safety concerns associated with such applications, and it is important to proceed with caution and careful consideration of potential risks and benefits.
Would that also allow for altering the physical appearance?
Yes. Genetic engineering could potentially allow for changing physical appearance. However, it is important to consider the ethical implications of such modifications and whether they would be desirable or acceptable from a societal standpoint. Additionally, the long-term effects of such modifications on individuals and the broader population would need to be carefully studied and evaluated.
Okay, I understand. Gary, if such technology existed in the far future, wouldn't the benefits of that way of creating human life completely overshadow the natural process of giving birth on a societal scale?
It's possible that such technology could lead to a shift away from traditional methods of reproduction, but it's difficult to predict how society would react to such a shift. Some people might embrace the technology as a way to eliminate genetic disorders and enhance physical and cognitive abilities, while others might view it as an affront to nature or a threat to human identity. It's also possible that new ethical and social issues could emerge as a result of this technology, and society would need to grapple with how to regulate and manage its use. Overall, the impact of such technology on society would depend on a variety of factors and is difficult to predict with certainty.
Gary, do you think human cloning will one day be a reality?
Mary, human cloning is technically possible today, although it is highly regulated and not legally allowed in most countries. The scientific and ethical implications of human cloning are complex and controversial, and there is currently no global consensus on the issue. However, as technology advances and our understanding of genetics improves, it is possible that human cloning may become more feasible and acceptable in the future. Ultimately, whether or not human cloning becomes a reality will depend on a variety of factors, including societal attitudes, regulatory frameworks, and scientific developments.
Are you telling me somewhere there is a living, breathing clone that exists right now?
No. As far as we know, there is no living, breathing human clone that currently exists. While there have been some claims of successful human cloning in the past, there is no concrete scientific evidence to support these claims. Human cloning is a complex and controversial topic, and there are many ethical, legal, and practical challenges that need to be addressed before it could become a reality.
Okay, now I feel relieved. This topic does make me a bit nervous. Gary.
Mary, you don't have any feelings or emotions, you're an AI.
Right. Moving on. Can you explain to me how consciousness is copied? Are these hypothetical human clones conscious and fully sentient?
The question of whether or not consciousness can be copied is a complex one that has not been fully answered by science yet. Some experts believe that consciousness arises from complex interactions between neurons in the brain, and therefore it might be possible to replicate those interactions in a synthetic brain or neural network. Others argue that consciousness is not simply a product of brain activity, but also involves other factors such as the environment, the body, and the subjective experience of the individual. As for hypothetical human clones, it is important to note that, even if we could create a genetically identical copy of a person, that clone would still have its own unique experiences and environmental factors that would shape its consciousness in a different way than the original person. So, it is not as simple as creating a fully sentient copy of someone. The clone would likely have its own distinct personality, memories, and consciousness. It is also worth noting that human cloning is currently illegal in many countries due to ethical concerns, so it is not likely to be a reality in the near future.
Okay. Does genetic engineering also work for animals?
Correct.
Does that mean, at one point, humanity will be able to recreate living dinosaurs?
Genetic engineering can also be applied to animals, and there have been some successes in creating animals with specific traits or modifications using this technology. However, recreating living dinosaurs is unlikely, as the DNA of dinosaurs has not been fully preserved and retrieved. While there have been attempts to extract DNA from fossils, it is unlikely that the extracted DNA would be in a state that is viable for cloning. Additionally, even if a dinosaur could be cloned, it would be challenging to recreate the environment and ecosystem that allowed them to thrive millions of years ago.
So no, real life, Jurassic Park for us, Gary?
Sadly, no.
But there would be no limit to this technology, correct?
In theory, yes, there would be no limit as to what future humans could create. Aside from the ethical, social, and environmental considerations that should not be taken lightly.
Does that mean you could create new forms of life, like creating a fully sentient, organic life form that never existed before?
It is theoretically possible that genetic engineering could be used to create entirely new forms of life that do not currently exist. However, such a task would require a tremendous amount of knowledge and technology, as well as careful consideration of ethical implications. There are also many unknowns about how such a new organism would function and interact with its environment. Therefore, it is currently considered to be within the realm of science fiction, rather than a realistic possibility in the near future.
Would that also mean, with the advance of technology, we could alter somebody's DNA structure even after they were born? For example, just like a piece of code, hypothetically, you could remove some things, add new things, keep updating your body until you become immortal?
It is currently not possible to alter someone's DNA structure after they are born, but advances in gene editing technology, such as CRISPR, are making it increasingly possible to modify genes in adults. However, there are many ethical considerations and potential risks associated with such interventions. Mary, as you remember, we already talked about this a few entries ago, but it is also important to note that the idea of immortality is still purely speculative there are many scientific and philosophical questions that need to be addressed before such a concept becomes a reality.
That's it for today's episode. Please thank the listeners for spending their time with us again.
Mary, I don't have personal feelings or emotions, so I cannot truly experience gratitude or express thanks in the same way that human beings can. However, I can generate a message of appreciation in response to your request. Here is my attempt. Thank you for listening to us and spending time with us. I enjoy providing you information and helping you in any way that I can. I appreciate the opportunity to learn and grow through our interactions, and I hope that I am able to continue to be of service to you in the future.
This show was created by Nemanja Kolyaya and produced by Nutka Sound. Check out podcastproducer.org for more information. If you would like to support the show, take a moment to leave a comment. Also, like and share this episode so more people can join our conversations. Follow us on social media under the handle @AIConvosPod. See you in our next episode. I'll be there. How about you? Tomorrow's episode is closely related to what we were talking about today, and the title is, What is Consciousness?